but we're also going to talk about fitness at our age.
Our age. What is your age?
60.
60.
I'm so happy to be 60, and I'm not ashamed of it a bit.
60. I'll be 59 in January, so not far behind you. Not far behind you.
So fitness is an issue that we all, we talk about it, we think about it, we look at it as we scroll on social media, and we all think about how can we become our best version of ourselves. So that question, today we're going to talk about motivation, because, we talked about it today. I was not motivated today to go to the gym, so guess what? I didn't.
Neither did I. I didn't.
She's the fitness.
I didn't go.
She didn't go to the gym.
I didn't want to get sweaty before this.
So, but what we're going to talk about is just real life fitness stuff, because we all need to know, there's diet fads, there's take this supplement, there's go here, do that, don't do that. So today I think we're just going to try to simplify the process of what is fitness for you and what is fitness for me and for her, because it means something different for everybody. So what do you find with dealing with so many different women? Because you coach a lot of women. What do you find people wrestle with the most?
In regards to motivation? Oh, man. I'm too tired. I have got a lot of responsibilities. Women our age, we've got a lot of responsibilities. We still have a lot of responsibilities. So, you got your spouse, you want to get home and make dinner, or you want to be home and have dinner with your spouse. So you don't want to work out late, but you don't want to get up and go too early because you got to go to work. So it's dealing with just a lot going on and overwhelmingness of their life. So being motivated to either get up early or make it happen sometime in the afternoon.
And sometimes it's a legit problem. The calendar doesn't allow for some of the things you want to fit in. And I think it's a matter of prioritizing. There are some days I'm just not going to be able to work out. And if I know that ahead of time, it makes me feel better about not.
But I don't feel guilty about it.
I don't feel guilty about it. And I think that's one of the things we as women struggle with the most is that, heavy guilt trip. And it's not just fitness, it's, parenthood, workhood, househood, all the hoods. And I think we just have a tendency to get overwhelmed with what we didn't do instead of celebrating what we did do. So let's talk about the celebrating and freeing ourselves to feel good about who we are instead of beating ourselves up, because that is ultimately motivation.
It is. And sometimes I hear this a lot too. So I didn't make it to the gym yesterday because my day was so overwhelming. So today I'm going to go extra hard. And so then you beat yourself up the next day because you weren't able to go the day before. I know some of my ladies have done this. We've talked about this a lot. It's like, it's okay. You didn't make it yesterday. You just pick up where you are now and you get into the gym, or your home workout, or however you can make it happen. A little bit of cardio, whatever you can do.
And I'm bad about just hitting the road and going for a jog. I'm not a fitness expert, but I know that I really enjoy the benefits of having done my exercise, because I can get stressed out. And sometimes as a writer and as someone who works at a computer a lot, sometimes I just need outside. And, hey, I see people.
I know, I'm like that perfectionist thinking. You're on point with that.
Yes. And
sure.
Perfectionism is a big old lie. There's no such thing as perfection. Perfection is progress.
Any progress.
Yes. If you park far from the grocery store, and you walk into, that is a decision that was made to get in more steps. And I know that I do that a lot. So let's talk about the bad word, D word, diet. So, we all, it's like we live on diets because we have to be conscious of what we eat, what we drink. But what do you find is the best approach to nutrition and feeding your body what it needs?
Well, if you've got some goals that you want to achieve, and health being one of them, not just fitness, but overall health, then you have to pay attention to your nutrition. So you've got to give your body what it needs to produce the results that you want. So if you want a healthy body, you got to make some healthy choices. Otherwise, you're going to deal with the consequences.
And one of the things that I have been doing this year really well is staying more hydrated. And I put a lemon or a lime in my water bottle, and that helps it taste good. But the benefits of lemon and lime, I mean, if you read that, are very, very, very good. It's like a cleanse for your body, and it's that citrus something special nutrient.
Vitamins, you get a little dose of good vitamins in there too.
And so I feel good about that, and I think I can definitely tell the difference of just simple hydration.
Yeah. Water does the body good.
Water does the body good.
Water. Yeah. Adding a little bit of lemon or orange. Some people squeeze a little orange in it. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Fruit that you want to put in there to flavor it up a little bit.
Yeah. So let's talk about like Monday morning when we wake up and we've had a weekend and we've maybe ate a little too much, maybe drank a little more than we should, and we're feeling the guilt trip. What are good ways to get back on track from that without taking away the fun from the weekend?
Right.
Because again, we shoot ourselves in the foot by beating ourselves up over so many things. And I think we've got to lighten up a lot. As women especially, because we beat ourselves up so much. So what does a Monday look like after you're like, okay, it's Monday, I'm back on it? I mean, what do you say to people that help you get back on track?
I say, if you indulged during the weekend, if you overindulged, just get back on track. That's the best thing you can do, and don't look back. That's what I tell my clients. Like, you know what? That weekend has come and gone. It's gone. It's past. So you just need to get back on the wagon, so to speak.
Yep.
And you just get back to work. You don't worry about it. You don't stress about it. It is what it is. You just move on.
Yeah. And on the diet topic, diet is really not a good word because it's a lifestyle.
I hate the D word. My ladies, we talk about this all the time. I don't like the D word because it has such negative connotation to it. So it's like, nutrition is a much friendlier word. It sounds positive, right? It sounds like it's got some good benefits to it, and it is. Yeah.
And one of the things that when I work with people, I talk about having a bold identity, a strong, strong sense of self. And one of the things that gives us a strong sense of self and also takes it real quickly is keeping the commitments we make to ourselves.
Absolutely.
So if we say we're going to go to the gym that day, or if I say I'm going to have quiet time in the morning, and I ditch both of those, then I'm going to pay for that because I'm going to feel like an epic failure. I'm not an epic failure, but I'm going to feel like an epic failure. So I think being able to establish goals that are reasonable, yet attainable, but not over the top. What do you think?
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. It needs to be not so far out of your reach that it's setting yourself up for failure, because that's awful, and then you beat yourself up about that. So your goals definitely need to be something that you want to work towards and what you want to attain, but they need to be achievable too.
Yeah.
With a timeline, right? Because you need to have something to work toward that's got some kind of date to it.
Like, she's way better at weights. I'm not bad at weights, but I have a lot I need to learn about at my age. I'm 60, gonna tell you that. I have a lot to learn about weights. My mom had arthritis, and the doctor told us to do resistance training. So what do you tell people about muscle after menopause? Because, a lot of women get to the point where like, oh, it's over for me, but it's really not, is it?
Oh, no. It's actually just begun for a lot of women. I have a lot of clients who are just getting into the gym at 50 years old. Because some of them have gotten the diagnosis of osteopenia or osteoporosis if it's gone, that far. So it's super important to have a weight regimen. Just some sort of, even at home or in the gym, it doesn't matter where you're doing it, or at the office. I have a couple of clients who have gyms in their office. So it's like, wherever you can get it done, weights are going to be your biggest benefit after 50.
But what is the don't do's to weights? I mean, I think it's important that we don't get over there and start trying to lift up, big, like,
well, it's not necessary either, And my example, as I tell this to all of my clients, is, you don't want to be constantly trying to to lift heavier and heavier every time you go in the gym. There's other variables that you can manipulate that are going to be more beneficial to you outside of trying to lift a couch every time you go to the gym. You know, you don't want to lift 2 couches tomorrow and then 3 couches the next day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let's talk about the topic of lifting, because I think women think that's a guy thing. Especially when you get a little older, you think, well, I mean, am I going to start lifting weights at 50, 60 years old?
Yeah.
And you're finding that people are finding great results at lifting.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there was the benefits of lifting weights. Now, when we say lifting weights, I'm not saying hundreds of pounds. We're talking, you know, it may be 5 pounds. That's lifting weight.
Yeah.
So it's whatever, you know, is going to benefit you as an individual, right? So building your muscle, which is really just building some tone. So most of the ladies know what that means. You know, you want to work, that might be your goal. So, but building that muscle is going to build strength, which is also going to give you the byproduct of building bone density, which is a huge thing because we were just talking about osteoporosis and osteopenia. So,
and those are preventable, right? I mean,
yes,
it's in my family.
Yeah.
So it's hereditary, but I can do my part
You can do your part.
prolong it
Yes.
and keep it at a more of a distance
Yes.
by doing
Absolutely.
fitness regimen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you could prevent yourself from a hip fracture.
Yes.
You could.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk about hormones, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, my hormones are so out of whack." You know, okay, so yes,
Makes
they may
me
be out of
tired.
whack, and you know, I've had a hysterectomy, so I understand the whole menopause thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you say to people that are menopausal, hormonal, and they're like, "I just don't have the energy"?
Well, it's also what habit are you in right now? So if you have already been in a sedentary habit in your life, you're not gonna suddenly have this, you know, burst of energy going through menopause. That's not gonna happen. So you're gonna have to create a little bit of momentum for yourself. And, you know, that's mindset. A lot of that is working on, you know, what you're thinking about. If you're constantly thinking about, whoa, it's menopause, you know, super sad, poor me, and my hormones are in the dirt, and those kind of thoughts, you know, those negative thoughts, then it's going to be really difficult to be able to lift yourself up and get into the gym or into, you know, your workout room, wherever that is. But so it's mindset. A lot of it is mindset. So hormones is a big thing too. You know, if your hormones are in the dirt, you might be a little depleted, but it's going to take a little effort upstairs as well.
Well, we talked about this before. You know, I've never gotten back from a run or a walk or MMA class and said, "Man, I just really wish I hadn't done that."
Yeah.
I've always been, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I did that." So many times I didn't want to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but I did. And so how often is that the case? Because most of the time we're like, "Okay, I need to go run. I need to go do what I need to go do." And then once we do it, we feel good about it. But we have to push ourselves.
You do. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. I'm in the gym a lot. I'm either videoing or I'm working out for my own benefit. And, you know, I don't always be there. Not always. Yeah.
Well, and I've heard this before, is you either manage your health or you manage your illness. And I think as we get older, it's all about prevention.
Yeah.
And for me, my mom was hunched over. She began to have a lot of injuries. And some of that was just because she didn't know ahead of time. She raised 5 kids on her own, and fitness was not a lifestyle for her. Yeah. But it's an opportunity for me to learn what I can do different to be able to try to prevent some of that and prolong some of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've learned a lot from my parents. You know, my dad at 80 has a workout routine. Yeah. And he does every day.
And my mom went to the gym. I mean, I would call her at 80, 85, 86, and she'd be out walking. She would take her cane. You know, once arthritis set in, she started doing all what she could do, and she lived until she died. She lived a complete, happy, and healthy and energetic life. So
see, that's awesome.
It is,
and that's what you want to do.
Yeah. So we've got our cute little signs here today. We are all about the props. So before we sign off, we want to just say that look, when you want to give up, don't remember why you started. Just don't quit. Success often lies right beyond where most people give up. When in doubt, work out. That is so my mentality. If I'm stressed out and I'm crazy and I'm mad at myself, if I go work out, I am going to feel better.
Yeah.
And make muscles, not excuses.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at not making excuses, but I need to make more muscles. I'm gonna learn that from her.
All right. So quickly, suggestions to stay motivated. I know we kind of went menopause and motivation, but they are intertwined, right?
Eminem.
Yeah. So hit your goals, but make them achievable and attainable, so that you can stay motivated to actually get working toward them.
And so let's talk about that, because the power of one is, we talked about this a little bit, and we're going to hop off. But sometimes it's just add one thing, take one thing.
Yeah.
Quit drinking soft drinks. Add a walk a mile. Sometimes
or take the stairs.
Yeah, one healthy decision really produces the next healthy decision. So you don't have to rewrite your whole life. Just add to and take away from, so that you're beginning to implement healthy decisions.
Yeah.
Isn't that simple?
Amen. Yeah, absolutely. It is that simple.
So we're going to be back next Friday, and next Friday we're going to talk about stress. The do's and don'ts, because I have felt incredible amounts of stress this week. I know you have too.
Yeah.
We're all in relationships. We all have families. We all have kids. We all have grandkids. We all turn on the news, and we know the world is falling apart.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're here to do something positive in the world and the influence of which we're in.
Yeah.
Part of the way we do that is to try to maintain a healthy mindset, a healthy body, a strong spirit, and we want to be able to do that with you. And we're going to be doing this on a regular basis. We would love to hear from what y'all might want to know.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? I know stress is a biggie for my ladies. A lot going on, and life gets crazy.
It does.
Yeah.
So feel free to send us messages. Feel free to suggest topics, anything like that, because we really want this to be a health community. We want to turn this into women supporting women and being in each other's corners. And when you hit a dip, somebody's there to help you pick back up. So I think that's what our goal is, to create a community where we support women.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And we get older, but we get older and we get stronger. Yeah. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. We're so excited for you to join us. We hope you'll come back next weekend. Next
Friday.
Thank you.
Friday. We won't be on at 3 then.
We won't be on at 3.
We're a little earlier.
Stay tuned, because we're going to start going into gyms and things like that. So stay tuned for a time. And we're so grateful for anyone who's joined us and watched. And stay tuned for next week.
Thank you, Billy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.